Hello, hello everyone. Hello Raj.
Yeah,
How are you
hi
doing?
Arlemy. Hi
Um,
everyone.
hey everyone. So first office hours at this time. It's brand new for us. Office hours is quite recent, right? We've been doing it once a month ago, and that's something we're aiming to do every month.
Correct,
But we thought we would add more time slots because there's people all around the world using Postman. So the more people we can help, the better.
correct. Yeah,
And today with me, I have Raj. Do you want to introduce yourself and say what you're doing at Postman?
yeah. Hi everyone. As Arlemy said, I'm Raj. I'm from product support. So we answer questions directly for all the queries that come into Postman regarding the Postman product, or we answer in community as well as in Twitter. So most of the queries that we have based on the workflows or about the specific actions that we've done in the product, uh, we do that. So just have to write to support@postman.com and we'll
So
answer
yeah,
them for you.
as you can tell, I cheated a bit and I just got someone from product support, and hopefully he can answer all the questions and I don't even have to think about anything.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. And if not, it's fine. We'll just, Google for an answer, and there's probably someone that had the same issue, and we'll just find the
Yeah,
answer somewhere else.
right.
Um,
That's it.
so yeah, the point of today is if you have any questions, just ask them on the chat, and we'll be able to answer. Hopefully, if you don't have any questions, we'll just spend an hour just chatting about Postman stuff. We'll do some quick demos of what's coming up,
Correct.
how to create documentation, how to use the Run in Postman button, and we may just spend some time on the community forum and answer the lucky ones where we just pick that topic and
Right.
and reply to them. So I'm not
Okay.
seeing I'm not seeing any questions for now. So I'll start with sharing my screen already. So let me
Okay.
share my screen. Cool. So hopefully everyone is able to see it. So this is the community forum where we may spend some time today and answering questions. But the first thing I want to show is this pin topic at the very top, which is 2020 State of the API Survey. This is a survey we do every year to all like Postman users or not. It's just we want to know about how people use APIs, what they think of APIs, do they use them, do they create them, do they design them. So it takes around 15 minutes apparently. And if you were a Postman user, you should have been sent an email maybe with that link. If not, you can just find that link on the community forum, or I'll just post it now on the chat,
Right. Yeah.
and anyone is able to take some time, go through it, let us know what you do with APIs, and based on that, that kind of decides what we or where we're gonna go with Postman as well. Um, cool. Did you reply to that already, Raj?
No, I'm not already replied. You want me to raise it out there? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's just wait for questions from someone.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I haven't replied to the survey either.
yeah.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show today, and we've talked about it in previous streams, is let me check this one. So we've always had like a lot of people talking about uh, their use of Postman and how they navigate through the. And I'm guessing you probably have some questions like that in support, maybe, where
Yeah.
the main issue that, or the main like feedback that we had. Let me go to a random request. I, okay, so actually I'll go ahead, create a new collection for the office hours. I'm gonna add a new request called get office hours. Oops. If I could type, that would be better. And I'm gonna use the Postman echo. So the main feedback that we had is that when you have two different zones like this, you can't really stay in one. And if you have different scrolls, like you're starting to scroll on this one, it switches to the next one, etc. So there was a need for them to be split, and that's something our UX team, design team, has been working on. And if you want to try it out already, you can already go on Postman Canary, which is you can run in parallel with you can run in parallel with the Postman prod version. But here I'll do the same thing, and I should have already one here. It's HTTP bin, but same. And everything here is just pans. So this is one pan, this is another pan, this is another pan, and they're all like independent from each other. There's not a scroll for this whole area, so we're not running into that anymore. And the other thing you can do is just you can close and open pans as you need them. So if you're not doing anything with params, you can just I think you can just take it. Yeah, and you can close it. Yeah, I just need to grab the right place. Same for the sidebar. You can close it back, and you can open it again. With the console is now included in the same window. So if you just click on it, it's going to open at the bottom, and you can close it back down. Find and replace, same. Seeing someone, the wanderer in chat saying, surprised to see light mode. Agreed. I usually my go-to theme is definitely dark mode, but when I stream, I tend to go for light mode just because it seems to show better, or like it seems to have, I don't know, the stream renders it better basically. But if anyone has the question on how to switch themes, you can go to your settings. So you access your settings, going how do you call that actually? That symbol?
Yeah, the one you can actually go to the launchpad, the first tab that you have.
Yeah, you can actually just turn it on here. Yeah, boom, dark mode. But yeah, I think. So I'm watching the stream at the same time, trying to see how it renders. I think it's actually quite okay, but let's keep to light mode. It's just so everyone watching the stream. If I put dark mode, they're just gonna fall asleep because it's good for your eyes. But if I put light mode, it's just gonna be like flashy, and you have to see. Is there anything I missed around Canary? Anything you want to add?
No, the same thing around like console. Like if somebody wants to like pull it out again, like how they used to do earlier, they can still expand it. Like once you open the console, the below, if you click on console there, and then to the right end where you have the close on, if you click that, it still expands. If somebody wants to put it on the other monitor and continue working, it's still the option is still there.
Yeah, I actually didn't know. They've had it that recently, right? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, they haven't.
Cool. Yeah, the other one that I realized is that it's same if you're using the collection runner. You do get the console here, directly in here. So if you have your collection runner on the side and then you have your Postman app, these are two different consoles. And instead of like having two different consoles that are like outside and you don't know which one is which one, then you can just have them directly in the window and you know what's happening where. So that's pretty cool. I think the other thing we may have added is auto-completion.
We haven't. Correct.
We've not announced that one yet.
Yeah. That's
so. If anyone's watching the stream, you're getting the scoop. So basically now, it is for pre-request and test, right?
Test, yeah, in the test and pre-request.
So let's say you want to add a test. As of now, you kind of had to guess what was in the PM API. But now you can just type in PM, and anything you can do is actually shown.
Right.
So let's say I want to. One of the demo that I do in the webinar is usually setting up a variable from the pre-request script, so it's added here. So let's say I want to send a date as a parameter, and I'm going to call that variable date. Now what I can do is pm dot, I guess, variables. I don't even have to type anymore. It's just beautiful. And I can say set. Actually, does this say what it? Oh, okay. So I can even hover. It says it's expecting two params, a variable name, and a variable value. So let's go. I'm gonna add a variable name, which was date, and variable value. Let's do new date. So what this does, new date just generates a new, it might be a timestamp, or I can't remember the format of it, but of now. So now if I save that request and send it, I can see my date here. And yeah, that is, yeah, I've been waiting for that for so long.
Yeah.
I know we've had it, like the team has been working on it for probably a few weeks now.
Yeah, they've been working on it, and there've been a lot of requests out of there.
Yeah, and I've been waiting for it to be live so I can finally play with it, because that's gonna save my life during our lives. Like every stream we do, there's always a moment where we struggle with like, oh, how do you write that? And then you go to the learning center, and you try to check how to do things, and now it's just here.
So,
You can just write it. So it's probably a good, like, you can probably learn from that as well. Like this, I don't actually know what info does. I guess would that
good question.
return? Do you know what this does?
No, actually, I've not tried that.
So this actually returns the unique GUID of the request. So I'm guessing if I do console log of this,
Yeah, yeah.
and I open the console, because I can just have it here now.
Right.
Now I
Guessing.
have GUID of my request. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So these are the new features that are out on Canary, and should go out on stable version soon, like maybe weeks after that.
But yeah, if you want to try that, I'll just show you quickly. You can go on postman.com/downloads, and if you scroll down a bit, you have Postman Canary here.
Right.
I think if in chat I type in Canary, yeah,
Right.
it actually gives you the link there.
Oh,
Magic.
that's cool. Yeah.
I see we have 11 people, so I'll just do a quick reminder of what we're doing here. If you have any question, just ask them on chat. If you don't have an account, unfortunately, you can't post as guests. You may have to create a Twitch account. But yeah, and any questions that you have, we'll go through it live. We can show you how to find the answer. We can show you how to do a specific thing. And if you don't have any questions, again, we just go through this kind of demo that we just did, where we think like this is valuable stuff that could help you in Postman. Okay. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? The run in Postman button?
Yeah. I think you will create a collection, then we can take it from there.
Okay.
So
Is there? So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start from an API schema.
yeah, sure.
Do
Yeah, I
you
mean,
have?
first let's start from there, like importing an API, then converting
Okay.
into a collection, and then.
Do you have any API that you know offers a schema that I could start from?
Let me search. Don't have
I
any.
have a few in mind, but if you have one as well, we can.
No, I think you take it up from there because I need to really search on for one.
Okay.
Right.
Let's use. I think actually, IBM has. IBM has an API reference. I think from their API reference, you can actually download the API schema.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go. So that's the IBM Cloud API docs. They have like plenty of APIs available, and you can just sort them like this. But if you take, for example, the AI ones, and I'm going to take the, I don't know, text to speech, for example. Here you can access the OpenAPI definition. So now I have this file on my computer, and I'll do a quick import. So I'm gonna go here, say no, okay, import. So it recognizes the name of the API, the format, and I'll import that as an API. I don't want to create the collection straight away because I want to show the flow of creating the collection from there. So this being done, I have my text to speech API, and I have the API schema available here with, it's actually, oh wow, it's a long one. It
I wasn't
is,
expecting that.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
7,000
okay.
lines. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that.
It-
Let's generate documentation
Collect.
from that. So we'll call it text to speech docs. Okay. So now if I go here, I can see I have documentation linked to that API.
Right.
It was last updated this time, and I can click on here, opens a new tab, and that's the documentation generated from the API schema.
Right.
With everything basically. So all the endpoints, the example responses. If there's different ones, you can access all the different. Actually, I think that's why the schema is so long. It's because they have
Yeah.
all the example responses, etc. That's
Example.
pretty good. That's like that's
A
a
lot of responses then.
yeah. I would call that a good schema, right? Because you can see
Right.
everything that is possible when you call that API. So it's not like this is a good response, and then if you get an error, you have to debug yourself and kind of figure out what happens. Here it tells you this is exactly what you'll get if this is not acceptable input, etc., etc. So that's good. So yeah, let's go ahead. Should we publish that?
Yeah, we'll go and publish that.
Okay.
Let's explain about
Okay.
network, API network or API templates may be there, because once click on publish, maybe we'll just
Yeah.
start to
Okay.
publish the collection. Yeah.
So publish.
There's no environments. Yeah, the single column and double column view. That this is also recently that have been come up, right?
Yeah. True. Actually, I'll publish it, then we can show the difference between.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, it shows here. Okay, so
Yeah.
the double colon, you have content in the middle and code on the right. Single colon, content and code are all in a single colon, surprisingly. And it's
Everything
just,
comes up.
yeah. And you can change the background color. How
Yeah.
about we go for
The blue.
blue? Can you? Oh no, you can't do just like, because I wish we could just write
We have
blue.
no
So
no
what's blue in X?
hexacolor for blue.
Apparently,
We're gonna take 00 triple F 4F.
4F.
Yeah, 4F. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. You get aqua blue.
Okay. Can you give me a highlight color
Highlight
that goes
color.
with that?
I'm gonna get you yellow, which is gonna be like a very bad. But no, let's take orange maybe.
Okay. Oh no, it was orange already. Let's do like.
Well, we'll go with gold maybe.
Okay.
The term, yeah, FFD 700.
FFD
D700. Let's see how
Nice.
it comes up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we're quite bright, but
Yeah, it's gonna be.
just
We're going like fully light mode. Do we want the collection to
yeah,
be discoverable?
yeah. So this is the one feature that I think if no one has yet explored it, this might be a good option. If you just enable it and then select one of the API network, what it's going to do is it's going to help people who are going to look for APIs around the same thing. It can be easily searched. So if anyone have just like published your documentation, you can also go and put it out to API templates maybe. API network is mostly for the pricing plans. It's priced and it's used for like the companies to put it out on the site.
Okay, so like the API network is more of like an official portal.
Yeah, yeah, the
and
official.
and the Postman template is more like for a quick project, like the ones that we just did, right? Like it's just a quick thing that we want to share. So we can click add to Postman template. I'm going to publish as myself because I don't think Joyce wants me to publish under her team name. So you need a template summary. This is an example of docs generated from API schema. Template description, I'm guessing, is pulled from the schema
From
as
whatever
well.
from whatever the schema or the documentation that you have, it's going to
Okay.
pull out that section out of it.
So then you have categories.
So yeah, so let's take it as reference, and maybe some random, right, for now.
I go API documentation,
The
developer.
developer, and below that reference.
Oh yeah,
maybe
nice.
Publish.
Okay, here we go. Update name.
Oh, it's already been taken.
Yeah, that's probably taken by me.
No, it's okay. Let's change out there. I think you can change it as soon as from there. So this is the first time. There was the changes that was happened with API Explore thing, right? So every time the username and the whatever we had with the Explore was different, and so we wanted to unify that. Whatever was with the username, they wanted to get it there. So if I think your username was rlimi.me out there, maybe what do you have as the username now?
Yeah, I think it's just because there's the plus, it doesn't like it.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, so if I do, can I do dash? Yeah, I can do dash. Okay, let's do dash. Proceed and publish. Something went wrong.
That's possibly because that's because of the username itself.
Okay, so let's do. Oh, okay. So let's do just all in like this, and then all in me meow.
Let's try. Maybe it will. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's good. I like to see all the green stuff. And now I can access it. Yep. So this is my public documentation.
So the thing is that now whoever the user is, maybe they're not part of a team or something, or if they have a small team like 2 or 3 people, they'll have their own place to go and find it. Like just explore.postman.com and their username. Like if you click on rlimi publisher, if you click on there, so if you see the URL, it's now you have your URL with the username. So anybody using it, they can directly go to our documentation site.
That's cool. I didn't actually. I probably knew about that, but I've never actually used it. So that should be my other account. Let's see if I have anything. Oh,
yeah, you have it. So everything is right there.
That's cool. Yeah, so you can see you can see what I've been working on lately.
Cool things. Yeah, and one more good thing is that you can get it from templates as well. When you can get it from the app or from outside it, you'll be able to import it easily for any users. I think.
Let's see. So you're saying me if I go to templates and I look for text to speech.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah, I think you have to click on you have a filter there, right? I think we can search from there. Sort by the next to the search. Yeah. The latest.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay, so let's see how beautiful our choice of color is. Oh, look at that.
Probably only we are both going to see this one. Nobody knows.
That is gold, as we say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can show the single colon as well.
Correct.
So the single colon, again, as I said, more like space for the text. So it's good for collections that have a lot of descriptions, right? And not a lot of code. This one has a lot of code, so probably not the best way to do it. Actually, it's not too bad because it's not like big snippets of code. It's just small ones every time. So that would work as well.
Maybe that would help when a person like knows which request he wants and needs to look at several responses, example responses.
Yeah.
That would, because the one that you see in the other side is like a little cluttered. This would give you a proper view when you change all the responses.
True. Okay, so do you want to talk to me about the run in Postman button and what I should do with this?
Correct. Yeah. Just to show, like, let's say that somebody has a website and you work with APIs, and if you have not used run in Postman yet, maybe you should use and embed the run in Postman to your website if your site is like purely about APIs, or it's a fancy thing to have else aware stuff. Let's go to let's go to the application
Okay.
first,
Yep.
and the collection that you've just created.
So I have a collection called text-to-speech
Text to
docs here.
speech.
Yeah. So let me
Yes.
close this
Let's.
one. Close this.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll close everything we don't need. Okay. So I have my text-to-speech docs here.
let's click on share, expand the collection.
Yeah.
Yep. See, so now if even in the top, it gets signified there. No? API text to speech. If somebody
Yeah.
missed it, uh, maybe we can see which documentation collected. Okay, we'll click on share, and then click on embed, and then we'll generate a code.
Okay.
Yep. So this link, this one is the HTML, the other one is static. Maybe we can create a mock for now, or put it out there so that user can understand it better right now. We'll just copy the code, Control A, just
Okay.
copy this
Oh
stuff
yeah.
here.
I'll just copy the clipboard.
Yeah. And then we'll close this. We'll expand the same text to speech. We'll create a mock there. We'll
Okay.
create a
So
mock. So
sorry. So here
yeah.
in the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Let's create a mock server.
Call it TTS mock server.
Okay.
Environment. No environment.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's create mock. Okay. Just let's close this one for now. Maybe we can. I don't know if somebody like closes it in a flow and maybe find out later.
Yeah.
We'll just create a new request inside this collection.
Okay, so new request. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe RIP. We'll just keep it for now.
RIP demo. Yeah, I always feel weird when we say RIP for running Postman. it took me like a few days to get used to it when I joined Postman, because like everyone was talking about the RIP button, and I was like, oh, what happened to that button?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do rest. Running Postman button. Okay.
We'll open the request, and maybe we'll in the curly let's create a variable URL slash response.
URL
Slash response.
response.
So, yeah. Now we'll create a example response to the same request.
So going to the top here, I'm gonna add an example.
Correct. I will add an example there, and we'll create a txt. Yeah, paste whatever we had. Whatever we copied from the embed.
Yep.
We'll paste it here, and yep, this is the. Well, let's save this as example response.
Okay.
And we'll go to the request there.
Yep.
And now we need the mock URL. So we'll again expand the collection. We'll go to the mock section, and there we find the URL.
And you can copy straight from here.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. So it's copied.
We'll put it in an environment maybe somewhere.
Okay. Let's use the collection, because I don't often talk about this. So the collection variables, if you click on the details here, you can edit, and then you have your variables here. Oh, there's actually already a base URL. So okay, it was URL, right?
Yeah. I think with this also, just when you mentioned the environments, I think if somebody doesn't know about the current and the sessions that we have, maybe you can mention that as well. The sessions like whatever you have in a current value, only that is being used, and
True.
that you have it in the initial system.
Let's actually go there and show what it means. So what we see in here, there's two values here: current value and initial value. Current value, as it says, this is used while sending the request, and it's never synced to Postman servers. If this is not changed, this will just take the initial value and use it instead. The initial value is used when you want to share that collection publicly, or you want to just share it with your team. Anything that you put in here will be shared with anyone that you send the collection to. So whenever you use API keys, passwords, just any sensitive data, make sure that you put it in current value, so you don't actually share it with anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
okay. Now we let's hover over the URL maybe, because we had in the last webinar we had people asking where can we look at the URL if it's embedded properly or not. So hover over that to get the view. And yeah, then let's take this mock URL, whatever we call. copy it. Let's go to a browser and like drop it there. Maybe this.
Can I? Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I think you have already copied it.
Oh yeah, it's
Copied
already
the,
copied.
yeah.
Hey, Vicky
Uh,
Caller on the chat.
yeah. Yeah.
We have some postman people keeping us company. Okay, so that's what happens when I put it in the browser.
Yes. And no, I think slash response
Okay,
because
so
we did not have the proper
yeah.
input there.
Uh,
Yes, if you click on run in Postman. So this is the easiest way, like can have it in your website. Like if you have a website and you have some plain site somewhere, you can put it there, and it's like a fancy way that you have all your APIs in one place, right?
And then so this will just import the same collection, right?
Correct. Yeah. No, this is just for the this is just for the demo right now, but this is what just will look
Yeah,
create connection within a mock and.
I just want to make sure we don't go like in a infinite loop where you just like keep importing the same collection. I'm sure there's a way to create an infinite loop with the run in Postman button, just like some
Correct.
JavaScript. That would be fun. That would probably break the application, but that would be fun. Okay, so actually it does say it detects that there's already a collection name text to speech.
Yep.
So it tells me, do you want to replace it? Do you want to import as a copy? Or not do anything?
Yep.
We have Comavatar.
That's me.
As well.
That's me.
That's you.
I was just waving hi to Vicky.
you have so many usernames everywhere. I don't even know. Okay. Okay, so that's cool. And actually, so we have the visualizers in Postman, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which are when you send a. So let's say here, and I'm getting my response. Visualize here, you can actually create some visualization, and you could have a run in Postman button here. Actually,
Right.
because it's HTML,
Yeah.
it's not
No.
it's not showing here.
Right, because I think we need to put on test scripts, right, to respond to
No, for
receive
the
it.
in the preview tab.
A preview tab. Oh yeah, we should have actually. No, we are not receiving anything.
Or does it need to be an actual like whole HTML page? You like to actually say, I can probably do. I'm just gonna cheat a bit, and I'm gonna do HTML, and I think I can do HTML. There's a way to just generate, HTML5. So now I'm just like doing my own thing, but so if I paste that here, now I have a complete HTML page, and I have some content. Let's save that, and let's see if that works better. No. Okay, I don't know.
It's
something to explore. I'm not sure why this. Probably because it uses JavaScript to.
Correct.
Okay, that's why. My bad. Okay, so because the preview is just static HTML, and this is using JavaScript to generate the button, it actually doesn't show in the preview. That makes sense. Cool. So that's the run in Postman button. I'm guessing. So the good news in one end is that we don't have any questions, which means everyone's like finding it very easy to use Postman. The bad news is that we may have to like keep ourselves busy by answering other people on the community forum, but we can do that.
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay.
Let's go to community.
Actually, you know what? Let me. I don't want IBM to be mad at me, so I'm just gonna delete that collection for now.
Yeah. It's also going to remove it from the published collections.
Yeah.
If we just like let's make it explicit. They mention that it's already gone. There's no documentation.
Let me just clean a bit here. Okay, cool. So now let's do latest.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a question here.
Validate JSON. Yeah, click on see that. I think this came up in support. We had this.
Okay.
So So the thing is that when we receive in support, if we receive all the kind of workflow questions or very specific to the project, it's always hard to respond there,
Yeah.
because we have to keep asking particular queries and then come back, and that's difficult because support we keep it primarily for the workflow, or about if it doesn't know how to navigate through the product, maybe that's the reason we have it there, but we do answer some questions. But the reason why we ask to go to community is somebody has already gone through that issue and is familiar with this, because
Yeah.
they know it, they've gone through the same issues, and maybe they can help a bit faster. So the
So
community would be the best place for you all to post it if you have any specific queries.
I'm going to do one quick thing, which is helping other people answer by making sure all the code is recognized as code.
Correct. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so now this looks better. We have the code snippet that is here. Oh,
Which
I went a bit too far. How do I close the code snippet?
uh,
This.
mm, yes, I think we
That
hit
should.
it there. If you can, yes, we hit that, right.
Okay, cool. So let's look at the question. I'm facing a situation where I need to capture all the values from a particular JSON key and need to pass a test if at least one among the captured value matches the test condition specified by me. I have that's a good solution already, wherein I compare all the JSON values using something like this. So is checking the response body, so whatever the API sends back, and it checks if there's an items, and then he has a test which checks if okay, so he's going through like one by one,
Yeah,
and says is
I was gonna put data
if
there.
one of them is higher than 20. Otherwise, it says there's nothing in the batch. Oh, actually, there's more text in the middle.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, problem with that, obviously, he doesn't know how many items there's gonna be, so it doesn't work. And he tried to dynamically capture all the JSON values using the below code, so for each. So yeah, that makes sense. For each item, he's doing a test. There's at least one item. Okay. Oh, so I should have gone through here already.
he has already like resolved this one.
So solved.
Yeah,
Congrats,
this
congrats.
also gets to another point where, community, you can actually find solutions which is already resolved, right? I think while we create a community post itself, it points out to already created things, right, Alami? If I'm
Yeah,
not wrong.
I think let me check. Let's pretend we're creating a new topic.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to sort an array of. Okay.
Right, we get it. We get
Yeah.
a
So
topic
it tells
similar.
you, for example, this person's already tried to sort an array, and you can see because there's the small check here, topic is a
Topic
solution.
is
So I could just go there.
okay.
Did it open in the back? Yeah, open in the back.
Yeah.
And this is how I would do. So yeah, that's a lot to read, but yeah, basically Sifkan is giving the answer here.
That's right.
Cool. Another one.
Let's go to the next one.
You can pick that one. Which one do you want to check?
That's the one that has will go to connecting MS project, MS
Okay.
project online help me. Yeah. Although maybe we can
So
at least start and,
yeah.
just start on how we can. Maybe if we cannot solve, we can at least let on how we can begin it.
So this person is trying to get connected to project online,
Yeah.
which I guess is a sorry is a SharePoint API, I guess,
Okay.
and they can browse the path and see the XML return. But when they try to get connected using their credentials, they get access denied.
Right.
They do not have access to the project, and their admin is not able to help. Okay, so what do we do from here?
first let's check for the API.
Okay.
I don't know how it is like.
Do you
We'll get
wanna share? Do you wanna share your
details.
screen?
No, I think you continue with that.
Okay.
I think maybe again I have to like set up all the
That's fine. That's fine.
documents there.
So I'm guessing. So this would be their website. So that's not the one. Let's look for SharePoint Project Online
First,
probably.
yeah, yeah.
So I could type. Oh. Add Project Online to seed collection. Can I do API?
Yep, I'll see it.
Okay, so this one, actually I've been there before.
Project names, yeah.
Project Online REST API list. Okay, so that's a question on another forum, which just lists the different endpoint, and it links to a reference.
Yeah. I think maybe we need to ask a little further questions because although if we cannot get the exact responses.
Yeah, so we go to the right place. Yeah.
Correct. Maybe point them there.
Let's see. Project. Let's read about what is Project Online. Project Online is a flexible online solution. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Where's the API though? Actually, I don't like. Sorry, the user didn't actually say if they're using an API.
Correct.
Or if they're just like browsing endpoints of their website, right, and just getting the content from it. So we don't actually know if it's that they're trying to do.
Is right.
Okay, so
maybe.
Yeah, that seems to be. This is an API, so that's fine. You send your site URL, project ID, and it responds with creating a new resource. Apparently, you can create new project. So it's all good, but it doesn't really help with the question because the user doesn't know how to connect using their credentials. But I'm not seeing anything here with credentials.
So okay.
So you would advise that we just reply to the user and ask for more
the
information?
further details, yeah, more information. Maybe that will point us like what exactly he's doing. Maybe that would give us some details around it.
So let's go ahead. And so as you can tell, this is a new person, and it's their first post. So let's welcome them. Okay, could you give us a bit more detail? You may not be using the right credentials. Okay, does that sounds good, or do you have any other question to add?
Yeah, it's good to start with. Maybe he'll add some other points that might point us to the right place he's like looking for.
Okay, so done with this one.
Yeah, let's go to something. Okay, let's like scroll up. One that has 0 responses.
Oh yeah, true. We can sort by replies.
Yep.
Oh, but then this one is like December.
The activity. Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think
Let's not do that.
That's.
So this one has 0 replies.
I think that we went around with that.
Yeah.
There has a skip request during iterations.
Okay. So that's a question. So I've not read this yet, but I'm guessing it's one of the questions that we get a lot about. How do you make a flow with your request in Postman, right? Like you want to start somewhere, and how do you build a workflow, conditional or not? It can be just a succession of requests, or it can be something where you send a first request. Based on the response from that request, you wanted to send to request A, send to request B, or send to request C. So let's read through it, but it sounds like it would be something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So fairly new to Postman test automation and trying to figure out the best way to organize a collection. and iterate over all of the operations for each endpoint in said service. So they've used the collection runner and using a JSON file. They're actually looking for best practices, it seems.
Yep.
Let's see. Have my iterations feeding the data into Postman, so that's the collection runner. Some of the configuration are not valid for all requests in the collection, and therefore they have some requests that are being fired with the wrong data. So what they want to do is checking the endpoint and have a condition that says if the data that is being sent, if iteration contains this endpoint.
Okay. The iteration contains. Maybe if their response has a particular endpoint, maybe some condition that they want to see, and based on that condition, they want to like skip a particular request.
Yeah. So that's what I'm not sure. Do they want to do based on the response, or do they want to do it based on the data they feed from the collection runner?
Yeah, right.
Because first case, in the first case, like for anyone that would have like any like Postman question, to be fair, if you have any question, you go to the learning center and conditional workflow probably. What we found. Okay, so it says building workflows or branching and looping. So like either of these sounds like what we're trying to do. Let's go for building workflows first. So this one talks to you about postman.setNextRequest.
Right.
Do you want to talk about what setNextRequest does?
Yeah. So based on the name of your request, whatever you have it, put it inside your iterations or the request that you're using it, put it into test scripts or your pre-request scripts. The pre-request scripts runs before your request and the test scripts after the request has been sent. So if you put a particular request or the name of it, and if you want to skip a particular thing, once you put it, it will skip it during the collection run or while you, it's basically used during the collection run or when you use it as a monitor. I think if you, once you open the application, I think it will be more clear where they can use it. But yeah, that's a similar, simply what it does, yeah.
Can you, I have a question for you. Do you know if in the pre-request script, you can access the data that is being sent from the data file in the collection runner?
I think no. I think no.
Okay, because
does it do it?
I was thinking actually, is paint still a thing? Apparently yes. Okay. So what I was thinking is if they can do something like does the data from their collection runner,
okay,
right? And then they can have a first request here, which would just be kind of a filter.
Okay.
And basically, if you can get that data in that request, then that request does the whole, if the data is this, then I go to that workflow. If the data is this, then I go to that workflow.
Right.
And that would be like their main, like kind of the brain of their workflow. But that depends on whether we are able to access what's in there.
Correct.
Which I actually don't know. So that would be one solution I can think of.
Right.
So let's see. Can I? That's what I said at the beginning, right? If we don't know, we'll just Google and we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Can I access data from? How do you call that?
The data files. Yeah.
Oh, data
Can
files.
access the data files from collections. Maybe. Yes.
Working with data files. So again, we are still in the learning center, and now Google has this like nifty thing where they highlight what they think. What is the answer to your question? It's very good.
Very good.
Okay, is there a thing about accessing data? Not really. You just okay. So that's the thing, right? Like when you're working with data files, your data in the file has a name, and
Yeah.
then wherever in your collection you're going to use that that as a variable, and it's just going to push it there. So you don't really have access to it. Okay. Let's see.
So he's mentioned that I'm not doing any sorts of process of flow. He's actually not doing that.
Yeah.
Rather blasting the endpoints with all sorts of permission requests. Setting the data is being returned as expected.
So is I'm just having trouble understanding this. Is blasting the endpoints with all sorts of different? Okay, so
Do you think he's making he has some different endpoints like?
yeah, so
Or maybe as you mentioned that once you put a data file and then generate a new kind of endpoints with that file.
actually, I'm just seeing a question. Do you plan to release Catalyst app or make the Postman available via web? Asks an iPad Pro user. So before I go into answering that one, what's a Catalyst app? Oh, is that a Mac specific? Okay, cool. Well, Catalyst app is not on the roadmap, but Postman Web is definitely on the roadmap. And I would even say in the short to mid-term roadmap, like as in it's going to be released this year. That is for sure. Oh, I think I've just lost Raj. Oh, he's back. Yeah, I lost you for a second. Just when I was announcing that Postman Web was definitely going to be a thing.
Postman Web.
So yeah, I don't think we have it announced like written somewhere. But if you look at the keynote from our CEO from when was it? Probably beginning of this year or end of last year.
Yeah.
We talk about how this is
last year.
Yeah, we talk about how moving Postman to the web is one of our priority for 2020. And this is something we're already working on. And it's pretty incredible to see it being built at the moment. Obviously, we can't share what's happening behind the scenes, but us as Postmanots, we're seeing that happening day to day, and yeah. So yeah, Postman on the web, sometime this year. I don't wanna like commit to any date. So yeah, sometime this year. And if you wanna hear more about it, I think that's the one. No, that's not the one.
No. I think we have this as a particular playlist, right? If you click on home, I think there's like certain playlist. This is one. The introduction.
Yeah, that's the one. So
yeah,
this one, announcing unlimited API. No, somewhere in there, it says what we want to do is sorry, moving like Postman to the web, because that's again like that question is the question that we that we get a lot. But yeah, in that video somewhere, you would be a happy tester for web solution. That's a good news. We will probably be looking for this type of people. I think we're definitely going to look for kind of like what we do with Canary. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream, but we were showing Postman Canary, which is kind of like a. It's not a beta version. It's a production version, but with like features that are available before they go into the production app. So for example, like the console that is built in, the pans. I can just move stuff as much as I want, like this. So we're probably going to go through the same system for Postman Web. So we'll be looking for early feedback from users. We're not going to blast it to everyone. So yeah, I don't think we'll have a specific way to subscribe to that or like to register for that.
Yeah.
But just keep an eye out for our announcements, our streams, our webinars. That's where we'll talk about it, and we'll just say, oh, you can access it here. But yeah, the other thing we can do.
I think there will be a blog post, right?
Yeah,
You're going to anyhow write it
true,
on community.
True. There'd be a
And,
blog post. It will be on community every time we announce something.
Yeah, I think you should need to show that maybe if
you go
Element
in,
does this, it's a new process. It's a cool process to put out all the new features that come out. He puts it out with GIFs and makes it more easy to understand.
So yeah, every
What's
time
new?
there's a new
What's
feature,
new?
I'm doing a
Right.
what's new, or like for example for Postman Canary, for the one that I just showed again, post here that says this is what's new in like a few points, and then like a GIF that shows and this is how you use it. So there will be a post for Postman Web when it's available. So definitely, if you're if you're on the community forum, keep an eye out on this category. If you're not on the community forum, join.
The newsletters maybe would be
or
also
yeah,
be there.
newsletter or the blog. So blog.postman.com.
Right.
It will be here.
Or else, if you're using the application itself, with the launchpad, it will give you all the news. Right.
Yeah, you can get news in so many places actually, which is here. So if you're on the app, there's a what's new with Postman here as well. Tells you this is the different like new blog post. This is the events. Somehow it says live. Cool, that's cool. I don't know how they did that, but that's pretty cool. Okay.
I think they take the community live updates there.
That maybe. Okay, so let's just finish this before we leave. I don't want to. Check the endpoint. Oh, okay. So I need to put my brain back to it. It's kind of a weird brain workout. But so what the users wants to do, I think now I get it, is what I want to do is when they're in a request here, they want to be able to check the value of this, and based on what's in there, take different decisions. So see, that's why you need Canary for this. Because Canary now has auto-completion. So I can do PM dot, would it be in info maybe? Let's do.
Yeah.
Dot.
So the request name, yes.
So request name would give me let's do okay. So that's request name. What else could we get? We can get request ID. Can we not get the URL?
We should.
Dot request maybe?
Request
dot body certificate
URL. Yes.
Nice. And that would be URL. Okay, so if I send this, let's see, I'm gonna remove the parameter. And now in my console I can see I have request name, so that's share request. And I have URL which has a path, a host, and a query. So path is guest, host is Postman Echo, and query.
Yep, we get that.
Okay, cool.
Get here.
Okay, so I can tell the user they can actually use pm.request.url to get the value of the URL, and based on that they can do conditions in the pre-request scripts. Okay, let's do that. It's here. Hey. No, wrong nick. Too many nicks. I'll just protect myself from what I understood, what we understood, which is we think the user wants to, if I get it correctly, you would like to create conditions. Now people can see live how I can't actually type.
Yeah.
If so, you can get the value
I think in
using.
the chats. Yeah, Orandig mentions that he has joined the community. Yes, that's good.
Nice.
Good news.
Thank
Nice.
you.
And he has also posted the link for his community,
Mambu.
mambu.com. Yeah.
We'll check that right after. I'll just finish that post.
Yeah. Yes,
In the
yes.
Prepress script and possibly create a conditional workflow in there. So let's link to this. Cool.
Cool. Yes, we did.
So let's have a quick look. What is Mambu?
mambu.com.
SaaS banking platform. Cool. Banking. Oh, banking and APIs. That's a love story here. I was at a last year. I attended API days in London, and it was
Okay.
specific to banking and all the banking went through a lot of changes with the new PSD2 laws, etc. Or I don't know if it's the same in India, but in Europe, I think part of there was this regulation passed called PSD2,
Okay.
which makes it okay. So that's just EU. Basically, what this does, it says every bank has to make the data from their users available through APIs. I'm like simplifying it 1,000 times.
Okay.
Like there's so
Fine.
much in this, but
Yeah.
one of these is the fact that you do need to provide that data through API. So that created a whole new business, and
Okay.
I guess that's where I hope I'm not saying anything wrong, but I guess that's where that's where Orending is coming from. They're loving
Okay.
Postman, which is a good news.
Oh yeah.
If you have good stories to share about Postman, feel free to reach out. We always like to hear about like customer stories, etc. We have plenty of them on our website.
Yeah.
I think
I
they're on
think
the
we
main page.
have.
Oh, they're actually
Yeah,
here.
the use cases.
Yeah, so we have. See, we don't even have any in banking. So
Banking. I
people.
think it comes in testing, right? He mentioned that he would be like testing.
So, oh,
Yeah.
oh wait, no,
Like,
that's use cases. That's no. Is that what I wanted?
oh no, I think
I think
the success customer
case
success.
studies. That's the one. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have some here. But yeah. So anyone with great stories about Postman, feel free to share with us, whether by email, if you have, or just like help@postman.com, which you'll probably have Raj reading your email because he's on the other side of the product support, so he would be one of the he would be one of the receiver, or like just tweet us at postman at getpostman. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot. We've not had a lot of questions, but we've covered a lot. So we hope people that have been tuning in and out were able to get some stuff from this stream. I'm just gonna stop sharing and revert to that screen. Yeah, I think. Do you have? So we've covered Postman Canary, We've talked about Postman on web at the same time. We've talked about the running Postman button. We've talked about generating documentation from an API schema. And then we answered a couple of questions on the community forum. Am I missing anything?
Nope, you have covered it all.
Cool. Yeah, I think with that said, if someone just joined and because maybe it's the morning where you are and you feel like you had questions that you can't get answered, we have a second round of office hours later today. It's going to be at 7 p.m. British summertime, which is I think 11 a.m. San Francisco time, whatever the time zone is there. But yeah, so and it would be 6 p.m. UTC. I think me and time zones, I don't know, but it's if you'd like to know that, you can go on our Twitch, and it's actually said here. So office hours this Tuesday again at 7 p.m. BST, and this Thursday we have a session with Cristiano Beta from Box as well. So with that said, do you have anything to add, Raj?
Nothing. Maybe next time we'll add an integrations part. We should have mentioned about the integrations. There are like a lot of interesting things to do there and a lot of additions coming up there.
Good point. That's and if you have any suggestions for stuff that we should do, like that we can demo quickly during the streams, feel free as well. That's why we're here. So that's it. Bye all. Bye Raj.
Bye Alan.
And
Bye everyone.
see you all later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.